Carey Bock from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. Robert Charlebois from Pincourt, Quebec. In our opening preliminary on our second week of men's 10-pin play from Calgary. Carey making his debut.
The young man is the one we were talking about who had the scholarship.
Saginaw Valley, Michigan. Said he didn't get much money there, but it was something.
Makes a comment. Nice young man, actually, off camera and talking to people visiting. He's having a good time here. And as he let go of that bowling ball, he said, "Set." This man is the reverse of everything that we talk about at times, but he's got the results. Watch him. He bowls off the left side. He bowls off the wrong foot, but he gets the action. Yes, absolutely powerful.
He'll give up the first frame of $50, however, to Carey Bock. Now, how does he come to play and throw this way?
From his prior experience being a duck pin bowler, and they play the reverse. You'll see his hand, it goes behind the ball. He actually flips it. Very strong man. But it's not often that you will see somebody have 2 or 3 things opposite to what normal would be considered, but it just proves what we say. Do everything right the same way all the time and you're okay.
Won $800 last year, making it through to the quarters. Actually threw himself at the pins there and wound up a little off balance, and you don't often see the 5 pin still standing.
No, you don't, particularly with somebody with the ball that he rolls from the left-hand side. It'll usually go down. He's certainly a lot direct in his lineup, and this is important. 5 pin, as you say, left up. No error on that one.
Back-to-back spares for Robert Charlebois.
"17 years he's been bowling, and he is a protege of the YBC."
As so many bowlers are, both 5 and 10. Oops, 10 pin.
Yay, baby, he's saying.
Up by a frame and now needs the 10 to force a carryover.
Boy, he's got the ball out there fast.
Carey Bock from Sault Ste. Marie, Robert Charlebois from Pincourt, Quebec. Bock, the first timer here, has a frame lead, up by $50 as we play for $50 a frame.
Watch him now as he adjusts, wiggles the bowling ball just a little bit there, off balance, but he's put so much power into that ball and it's skidded too far. Nice, even back here, twists it a little bit, and as he gets by his right foot, now there's a great shot. Shows the ball going behind the 1 pin. I gotta ask our technician if we can redo that. That'll be quite a shot as we go through. We'll get because of the way these two are, this man is bowling here, you'll see another shot just like it. He's had 4 perfect games, which speaks for his ability, as does that. That's a tough spare.
Gets the 2 and the 8. And now something a little different here from Robert Charlebois, making his second appearance. Last year made it to the quarters, winning $800.
Now watch the complete opposite on it, not only because he's left-handed as against a right-handed bowler, but watch how he sets up. He's methodical here. He puts his foot position behind, and he takes short steps, and then rifle. It's like the bocce player from Italy. And that's exactly how they released the bowling ball. One of the best men ever to bowl in Canada was a man called Bert Manarin, and this is exactly how he would bowl, except he was right-handed. You could not beat that man on every, except he was, he was a mental case when you said to him, okay, you go over, you're going to be sick in about an hour, and he would. That's how you would beat Bert. Talent-wise, you'd never beat him.
And he'll have the open here and the 2 frames and $150 to Carey Bock. Robert Charlebois is from Pincourt, Quebec. That's about 20 kilometers west of Montreal. He owns and runs the pro shop at the Salon de Kiel, the bowling center in Pincourt. Can you be successful this way, though? I mean, obviously you've said one of the best bowlers ever, but it just seems unconventional to bowl this way.
Well, I used to think you could never be a champion as often as you could, but Lita De La Rosa, one of the girls on the Philippines, she bowled like this, and I'll tell you, you can't beat them for accuracy. If they get onto their game, they just are amazing to be able to line it up and then just keep them. But there is a difference. You don't get as many results like this that you want. I'm just watching that ball and wondering if it was going to come back on. He's had 11 perfect games, so he's got the talent. But he's given away a few frames.
They do take a more direct line, don't they?
Yes, they do, and they have to rely on their accuracy, and if they've got the accuracy, they can get away with it. This particular bowler that you're going to be watching here, he has the accuracy and the timing, but he needs a striker spirit. Now, you see what he did there? He looked at his arm, moved his hand around a little bit. Now, he's going to blow the rack mark. Oh, leaves up a single pin. He reminds me of the tennis player. He's got a comet every time he lets go of the bowling ball.
Yeah, don't get into tennis grunting and groaning out.
Sometimes, well, you can't go there either. I was going to make another couple of comments, but let's
crossed
go
over to the Brooklyn side, and there he's got the skull ball. We've seen that, of course, in our women's 10-pin competition.
One thing about that skull ball, we can show something in the ball. You will see a dark spot, which is a deal that shows you the weight block. Now, right there, it looks like the brain's got a tumor, but in the meantime, what that is, it's actually where he's put a plug into the bowling ball.
Colleen Insko, the women's champion, had a similar ball. And yes,
indeed.
So Carey Bock off to a very strong start. He's up by 4 frames now with a strike up in 5.
Watch the sweet spot for one of these balls. There you are. See how it happens? The ball hits right behind on the edge of the 1 pin going by and drives the 5 pin through. And the sweet spot for these bowlers is that when they get to not in this case, this case it'll be the left knee. That's where they put all the power.
There behind the head pin, and he'll give up another frame, another $50 to Carey Bock, who quickly has got to the point now where he's just a split frame away from advancing.
Robert is the runner-up in Quebec with 2,161. In other words, a 216 average for his 10 games.
Spare for Robert, but he'll have to get it dialed in now. He hasn't even been close to the head pin on many of his throws.
Competes at the Salon de Key and Pincourt.
Pincourt. Yeah, just west of Montreal. 2nd straight year.
In his notes, he said to us that he concentrates on his game, and that's what we've been talking about. That this style of ball, you have to concentrate on the game a little bit more often, and he's not quite there today. He's not quite as comfortable as he would like to be.
Now 3-9 left, but at least he was around the head pin this time.
The ball will stay out. See how far out on the lane that is? That's a long ways to come back, and he doesn't have a softer ball to bring it back that far over. 2 pins here. He left to play for the back pin. Do you realize that he's bowling a ball that weighs about 16 pounds, and he actually is just powering that ball. He's so strong. Amazing gentleman. He's checking the score. He's been around the game. He knows what to look for. He knows that this young man right here, Carey Bock, has an opportunity to wrap it all up.
Sure can, with a strike here in 6.
Come on, 20 deep, baby, come on!
10 go, no it won't, and now he'll need that to force the carryover. Carey, as we mentioned, on the scholarship, slight scholarship at Saginaw Valley. Also played on the PBA a couple of years, played in about, as he said, 8 to 10 regionals. And every regional, you see, you don't have the, I guess, those who have never done it don't realize that. He said even at regional PBA events, you're facing anywhere from 80 to about 120 bowlers every week. I mean, it's an incredible, and then he says, I only cashed checks about 5 times.
Well, about 20 years or 30 years ago, unfortunately, I'm getting a little older, but when you get accepted on the PBA, you had to average 191 for 2 consecutive years, 190 and over. And now it gets a little bit higher, but if you had 190, they would take you in. You need 2 pros to accept you, and then you have to go into the training camp, just like in the golf, like Tiger Woods and all. I don't know, did he ever go into a training camp? But this young man did, and that's what he did when he got the scholarship. This is the results, though, when he gets the bend in the knee and the arm right over the head. He could have had the 5-7-10, and it all collapsed.
So Robert Charlebois now needs to strike to keep himself alive. He has yet to throw a strike. Has he got one here? No, he does not. And so Carey Bock will advance, picking up the $100, and so far he has bowled the shutout. He has won every frame over a struggling Robert Charlebois. Robert's a nice man. He said, nice to be back. I said, nice to have you back. Because you have no idea how popular the pins game is in Quebec among Quebec bowlers. We're glad to hear that.
Well, they have sent us excellent representations or representatives here in the last all the years that they've been competing, and they have a lot of duck pin, candle pin, and certainly the 10-pin game in that area. So lots of chance for them to practice, and I'm sure he's done a lot of the duck pin in the prior years.
Yeah, it's just not going well for wife Lorraine.
Isn't it nice, though, to have the family come along for goodwill and keep them encouraged? Watch never changes his delivery on the shoulder. He stays right down there. He stays at the line. He's very stocky, and as a result, he just takes his time and he just muscles the ball through. Wiping off some of the oil. Again, watch the way that he holds the ball, looks at his arm, got his...
Oh my! That ball was on a string. He had to pull it back.
You could hear him go, oh. That could just as easily be in a ball in the channel about 25 feet out there. Nice looking young man.
Hopes to one day represent Canada. As he picks up the spare, will carry over and will play for the $100 in the 9th. Hey, it's interesting. I mean, he loves the game. He was saying that he watched the PBA as so many of us did. I watched it more, of course, when it was on ABC, and it was a staple on ABC Saturday afternoons for all those years, Frank, as you well know. But his heroes are people like Johnny Petraglia, and had a chance to sit down and talk bowling with Johnny Petraglia. That's his goal too one day, is to play on the PBA tour.
Well, Johnny Petraglia is one of the nicest people to meet, and certainly there's been over the years there'd be some great people he might have met along the way. Recently was with Dick Weber again. We had a lot of the pros up here at one time with the promotion we did with the Riders. There's the first strike.
First strike as he crosses over to the Brooklyn side to get the strike and carry over, and so the final frame, the 10th, will be worth $150. And Robert realizing it's been a bit of a struggle.
Nice to see somebody of Robert's age still competing, and it is something we indicate in the bowling game all along. You can bowl in this game 3, 4, 5 years of age in some of the games like 5-pin or 10-pin, and then get up there and just have yourself a good time all the way through. And that gives him nice double there.
They're in the 10th, and he'll keep throwing. He's 53 years of age. However, if you were with us earlier for the men's 5-pin, of course, you'll know that Joe Cranabetter from Tofino, BC, 66 years of age, and he won it all in men's 5-pin this year.
That was quite a show when he won that event, and we've had quite a show on here. Certainly, the women put on a display, and the difference, of course, the men are so powerful, and the women just a little bit more finesse. Wrapping it up, trying to get a spare, and he did. 177 for Robert.
Boy, he came in with a league average of 212, but his only strikes coming in 9 and 10. He had a couple of opens early, and then everything else was spares, so no chance to build up any kind of pin count.
Young man going into getting his education as well as his bowling ability. A little outside on that one. He's lost the frame. Or you can get a spare here and then a strike and he can match it up.
Yeah, split it.
Split it. Using the ball here, the heavier ball, or the as far as.
Oh, good! What a kick! What a great kick to keep himself alive for the money.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was the power on that ball that brought this thing. He goes straight at it, and watch the ball go straight through, and then it comes from behind. That pin hit the sideboard and came in from behind. He was not happy, and then he was. Look at this. Now he's going for the strike.
Needs a strike to split the money. Has he got the strike here? $150 he does. And so they'll split the final frame as Carey Bock advances, but Robert Charlebois will not be shut out. He'll take home $75, but Carey Bock advances to the quarterfinals as he bowls a 197 to Charlebois' 177. Carey Bock from Sault Ste. Marie will move on. Coming up, a former runner-up, Joe Kayak against Clint Clausen.